Hello friends, this is Dr. KU Naik over here, and today we are going to learn how to do coding for sentiment analytics using Jupyter Notebook. So step 1 is to import packages and libraries for storing, calculating and graphical display of Amazon Alexa dataset. So first line of input coding is that import numpy as np, import pandas as pd, import matplotlib.pyplot as plt, percentage matplotlib inline. So numpy is basically used in Python for numerical calculations. Pandas is used in Python for data frame and storing unstructured data as a structured data in data frame. Matplot library is used for graphical display of the data in Python. After writing these 4 lines of code, you are requested to press Ctrl+A, select all the 4 lines and then press Shift Enter to execute the code. Once the code will be successfully executed, then in front of input line number, the bracket is there, it will be filled by number 1. After that, the second line of coding is that import cbourne as SNS and then press Shift plus Enter to execute the code, and line number 2 will appear over there. So cbourne is again a library for graphical display of data for sentiment analytics. So this is your first step which you need to understand before performing further sentiment analytics on data of Amazon Alexa. Now step number 2, importing Amazon Alexa dataset into memory variable and display first 5 records. So let us declare one memory variable called df_reviews. Then we will use assignment operator is equal to sign. Then we will write down pd.read_csv into bracket into single inverted comma Amazon_Alexa.tsv. Now what is tsv? It is tab separated file. That's why we are putting file extension as .tsv, and then we are using comma also, and then separated is equal to backslash over, then t and bracket over. And this is how we can call tsv file. All the fields which are there, all the records which are there in this tsv file now will be stored in one single variable called df_reviews. Now the whole file is there in df reviews. That's why we are interested to know the first 5 records of this data file. So let us issue a command called df_reviews.head, open the bracket, close the bracket, select both the lines of code using Ctrl+A and then press Shift Enter, and you can see the below mentioned results. There are 5 fields basically: rating, date, variation, verified reviews and feedback, and top 5 records are there in front of you. But Python understands record number 1 as 0, record number 2 as 1, record number 3 as 2, 4 as 3 and 5 as 4. So Python starts sequencing from 0. That we need to understand. Now let us move to next step 3, display number of rows and columns and structure of the data set. So df_reviews.shape, whenever you will issue this shape command, it will let you know how many rows are there in your data file and how many columns are there in your data file. So 3150 rows are there in this data file of Amazon Alexa and 5 columns are there, which we have already seen. Now you are interested in knowing the structure of the data file. So there is a command called df_reviews.info, open the bracket, close the bracket and press Shift Enter, and the code will be executed as follows. So range index is 3150's entries and 0 to 3149 it has done indexing like that, and there are 5 columns. So the first column is of ratings. It consists 3150 records and the data type is integer. Second column is date. The data type is object type. Variation is also having object type of data. verified reviews is also object kind of data, and feedback is integer. So if you look at the summary, it clearly tells that there are two variables or two columns which are of integer types, and three columns are there which are of object type. Total memory space occupied by this file is 86.2 plus KB. So this is how you can identify the number of rows and columns and structure of the data set. Now let's move to our next step number 4. If you want to describe the data numerically, then there is a command called df_reviews.describe. Open the bracket, close the bracket, and press shift enter. So there are two columns which are of integer type, ratings and feedback. So this describe command can be performed very nicely on numerical data or integer kind of data. So it tells us that total ratings have been given by 3150 users and feedback has been given by 3150 users. The average rating is 4.46 out of 5, which is really very good. It indicates that Amazon Alexa products and services are having very positive sentiments among the online users. And feedback is between 0 and 1, and the average feedback is 0.91 out of 1, which also indicates that both the ratings and feedback of the Amazon Alexa product is very high, and the perception of the users who are buying products and services from Amazon Alexa are very satisfied with the products. This is what this particular slides wants to tell us. Now let's move to our step number 5. We have noticed that the date column which is available in the data file is of object type. So we need to convert object type of date to date and time kind of data type, because we want to perform many tasks based on date criteria. So if it is in object kind of data, then we won't be able to perform numerical calculation on date. So this is how we can write down code, and we can convert date from object data type to date and time data type, and then we can know the minimum date, maximum date using combination of commands. .min function, .max function we can use to know the minimum date as well as maximum date. So step number 5 is all about converting object data type to date and time data type. Now step 6, graphical representation of data. So plot figure size we have mentioned. SNS I have already mentioned that it is a Seaborn library which is used to plot the data on graph. So x is equal to date means on x axis we require dates of our data file, and data is equal to df review. It means from which variable or from which data file we are fetching the data, that is mentioned as second parameter. And then plt.xticks is equal to rotation is equal to 90 we have mentioned, and then plot.show method we are using to display the plot graphically, and this is the outcome. And you can see clearly that during the month of May, June and July the sales was highest, and if you look at the other dates, sales is very less, but during last 3 to 4 months sales volume was very higher. Now let's identify the data. Graphical and numerical display of the last 3 months purchase. So again we are going to use Seaborn library. So Seaborn is a full form and SNS is an alias name for Seaborn library. So we are using alias over here as SNS.countplot, and again df review is the database, and we are interested in knowing the months of high volume of sales. So .dt.month function have been used to know the last 3 months sales. So you can look at the figures during the month of July, 7th month. The sales volume was at peak. More than 2,500 products have been sold out. So if you want to know the exact number, then there is another command, df review date dt.month.value counts. So you can see that in the month of July 2,913 products have been sold, and in the month of June 155 and May 82. Similar way, if you want to know the ratings,